Hello there, welcome back to another video. How you doing? I'm doing fine, thank you very much. My hair wants to be difficult today, so I'm gonna try not to touch it. I don't know, like, if people with curly hair have like tips on like how to keep their hair tidy the day after, because the day that you wash it and it dries is like, I have beautiful hair, and then the day after you sleep on it, it's like you do not have beautiful hair, you have straw hair that is dry. That's my experience of it anyway, so I think I'm gonna look it up to see like how do people manage hair, you know, for days and not just for like the first day, because obviously I can't wash my hair every day because I heard it's not very good. I told you. Somebody just said to me that my voice is not liked by everybody. You have to like my type of voice, and I was like, oh. Straight away I wanted to make it not true, like, and I wonder because then I was compared to like an Amy Winehouse, where it's like it's such a unique voice that like you have to like it, otherwise you hate it. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize that that was my voice, because it's just like, is my voice really that unique? Like, is it that unique?
No.
I didn't think it was that unique, where like people will be like, oh, I really don't like that voice. So I don't know how to feel about that. I feel a little bit attacked.
Oh no.
And then also, like, once people got used to Amy Winehouse's voice, they then start to love it. So then is it about like getting used to something that you're not used to hearing, and then you end up like loving it? It's like, you know, don't kill the messenger, just understand the message. And maybe like this is like one of them things where it's like I'm not really appreciating the message, and it's like I'm trying not to put it onto the messenger, because it's like, how dare you tell me that people hate my voice? I didn't realize that people hated my voice.
Oops.
Because it's like, why would you hate my voice? Like, I don't understand that. I told you I was trouble. I wonder what that's about, because like, is my voice really that hateable? I'm sitting here, I can't get past it. It's like, somebody please advise me and tell me different, because like I don't want people to hate my voice. Anyway, I'm back today to talk to you about success, because I've been getting lots of like positive like perceptions.
Huh?
I feel like there's another word that would be better there. I'm getting lots of like ideas. No, I don't think ideas is a good word. I am being inspired to look at success in like these different ways. Anyway, and I thought, let me come and do a video about this, because like, isn't it interesting? Anyway, so then I've put here a few steps, right, of like what it is I feel like what success is, because today's video is how to, I've written here how to success, yeah, Nayna, how to succeed. And actually this is a work in progress for me, because like, have I really succeeded in life? No. But, and I feel that's a bit harsh, because some people be like, well, yes you have, because you are very comfortable in life, you have a good job, you know, your brain works, you eat what you want to eat. Maybe some people be like, that's successful. And of course I must actually understand that that is also success, but I'm talking about more of like, I have a wish, I have a goal, how do I achieve that, right? And how do I do that? So in that respect, I'm actually a work in progress for sure. But I thought, let me just come and share like the things that I've been like talking to myself about, and then I'll be like hopefully the living proof of these successes. So I guess before like you talk about success, right, you've got to probably just look at what you're actually passionate about. Because like, if I wanted, for example, to be successful at being a cook,
No.
just because like I saw a cook and I was like, yeah, I want to be a cook. I have no passion to be a cook. And actually I'd never do that. I'm just saying, like, I don't know if people do that. They just like randomly pick things and they're like, yes, I want to be successful at that. And like, what? Like, do you even have passion in your heart? So I feel like before you talk about success, you should really like see if you have this passion for it, like this burning desire, like, oh, I really want to do that. Like, wouldn't life be great if I did that? Wouldn't life be amazing if I did that? And I feel like that's like passion, like, because then like your whole like body would be ecstatic if you did it, if you had it, and if it was yours, like your whole body would be like, ah. And maybe that's what I call passion, because obviously then my whole body is reacting to something. I call that passion, right? Which obviously I'm just understanding that now, because I always use the word passion, and really I always put passion as like, oh yeah, I want it. But really it could be like the whole body actually reacts to it, and it's like it likes it, right? And then when you have this passion for something, then you have to think about a desired goal in regards relating to what you're thinking about. So for example, for me, it would be singing. I love singing. I love performing. So what's your desired goal in regards to singing and performing? And for me, it's like, okay, well, I'd love to have people who like to listen to me and then maybe come and watch a show of mine and attend the show of mine and then like the show that I put on and then come back for more shows. And then if I release things like music, they actually interact with it and listen to it. That's my like goal, I think, as a singer, is to do that, right? I do want to like leave aside my goal for a second, because I know that my goal, and actually I have two like massive goals that are a little bit massive, because like one of them is to sing and the other one's to change the world. And both of those things is actually well known that it's very, very difficult to succeed in those things. Like changing the world, like, are you crazy? This world has been this way for such a long time. Who do you think you are? There's no change in this world. And then the singing one is like, you know, only a handful of people get to be stars, and actually there's more that try at it and most of them fail, and only a handful like rise to the status where you're really, really, really successful, obviously, which I would love to be successful like that. And then furthermore, on that success route, you have to be a specific age to even be picked up and promoted and put all of this work into it. And obviously I'm way past that age as well, right? So I've got these really impossible goals, but not impossible, because obviously nothing is impossible. And obviously in my brain, I'm not giving up on those two things. Like I really want to be able to succeed in music and have people listen to me and love it and come and watch my show and want to be a part of the space in which I sing. And then this world needs to change, and we're going to change the world, and that's quite simple to me. Actually, this one just seems like so easy to me, because it's like, what do you mean the world can't change? Of course it can change. Let's just hurry up and do it. What do you mean like it's hard to be a singer? Like, can I just please sing and then you come and watch my show? Anyway, right, this next thing that I'm going to talk about, right, I feel like it's really, really, really important. So you have your passion, you have your desired goal. I think here then, right, for success to then begin, right, I feel like first of all you have to decide that you are confident at something. And I was talking about this to somebody the other day, where I feel like when somebody is insecure and they show it, I feel like that makes most people uncomfortable. So then they don't want to watch it, they don't want to be a part of it, they just actually want to just get away from it. If you show your insecurities, people don't like that. So, and I don't know how this is going to sound yet, because then like a lot of people talk about it in the music industry, where it's like you've got to fake it until you make it. You've got to put on a show, you've got to pretend. And for me, I don't like to pretend. I like to just be real in who I am, right? But the thing about that is that if your real is insecure, people don't want to see that, particularly in music and in performance. They want to be entertained. So it's not entertaining to watch somebody who's insecure. It's actually quite cringy and quite uncomfortable. And actually I just want to enjoy myself. I want to get lost in the music and just really be inspired. And somebody who's insecure doesn't do those things. They don't inspire me. So it's really difficult, because then if you're insecure and you want to be real, then what does that mean? That you're just like, you know, you're gonna fail because nobody wants to see that anyway. But then I started to thinking about like this whole confidence thing, because maybe then we have to train our brains to be confident even though we are insecure. And there's a whole art to that. Like Beyonce calls it Sasha Fierce, and people call it other things or whatever. People call it pretending, people call it like fake it till you make it or whatever. But there is an art to deciding to be confident at something even though you're insecure. And I feel like that's like the first step to success, that you have to have that. Because like I said, people don't want to see you being insecure or scared. They want to see you deliver in the most inspiring way possible, which is not insecure. Anyway, so then I feel like that's like one of the steps, right, to success, right? And then the other step to success, because we live in the brain and the brain really does require information and inspiration, right? I feel like you should try to find evidence in the success that you're looking for, which then creates even more confidence in yourself. So for example, I'm gonna find evidence that this would work. I'm gonna find evidence that this has worked, or I'm gonna find evidence that people want this to work, because sometimes you're building something that's brand new or that has never been done before, and therefore you can't find evidence that it would work, but you could find evidence that people want it to work. So then you have to have these conversations, or go and do your research, or, you know, go and observe the world. And for me, this is why the change in the world side for me looks very very easy, because I've seen enough evidence to show that people really do want to change the world. They just don't know how to, and they don't think it's possible, but they want it. So I feel like that's another step to success, is that you have to somehow convince your brain by maybe finding evidence in particular ways to convince your brain that it is possible for you to succeed at what you want to succeed at, because your brain is the one that's the main machine that you have to convince for you to succeed. Anyway, so you have your confidence, you have your evidence that this is possible, even if that evidence is you deciding that that's possible because you've decided it by yourself. Fine, you have your evidence. And I guess a next ingredient to success is unwavered perseverance, which means you can never give up until you reach what you say you want to reach. You can never give up.
Yeah.
Because obviously, actually, that just goes without saying, because obviously you can't have success if you give up, right? And I feel like that should really be decided when you decide your goal, that you're never going to give up. Or it actually depends how much you want something as well, but usually with these things, like, you really do want it, so you have to really decide to never ever ever give up, and to always persevere.
What?
Keep trying until you reach your goal. And when I use the word unwavered, right, I really do feel like sometimes the world just seems to be against you. Everything just seems to be against you. And even through that, you have to be unwavered. You can't be moved in what it is that you're trying to achieve. And even if you are moved, you know, because obviously the wind sometimes is quite strong and it blows you, you have to go back. You have to carry on trying. And I think that goes without saying, but sometimes these things do need to be said. You have to persevere. Unwavered perseverance. And actually, sometimes it is a bit easier than that. Sometimes the path is really arduous and hard, and then sometimes it's actually quite simple, and some people are more simple in that way. So they're like, because this is quite simple, I'm just going to do it. An outsider will look at that decision and that attitude as unwavered perseverance, but for the person itself, it's just like, no, it's just simple. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And it can be that simple in somebody's head, or it can be like difficult, like I said, because the whole world keeps showing you that you shouldn't do that. Oh, it's not possible. Oh, you know, all these negative talks. So then either it's a simple belief, I'm going to do it, or it's a perseverance. So the next thing on the list is actually really important, which I guess a lot of people don't do, and this is why a lot of people might not succeed in what they want to succeed in. We have to create opportunity, because I guess the one side of it is like to sit by yourself or to sit with people and think about these things, like, oh, I really want to do this, I really want to do that, and you sit there and you obsess over it and you plan these things, but then you have to meet that exercise and that brain work with actual physicality of movement. So you have to really create opportunities. So if you want to be a racing driver, you can't just sit there and think that you want to be a racing driver. You have to go and actually practice racing and go to the racing track and have a go at racing and actually keep practicing a racing. So it's not just about thinking about things, you have to go and physically create opportunity. So go out there and actually do things that goes towards it. And even if it's just like these little small steps, like for example, as a singer, go and do open mics, go and sing in front of people and do open mics. And though it's like a small little thing, it leads to more opportunities, it leads to the next open door. And if you're just sitting at home thinking about things and desiring them and wanting them, that's not enough. You have to actually go outside and create opportunity. And actually, in those moments where you're putting yourself outside, creating these opportunities, some things like literally like come your way. And the next thing on the list is to act on opportunities, to actually take them and do them, take advantage of things that are offered to you. And again, if you're just sitting in your bedroom and you're thinking about things, you're not gonna come across these opportunities. So you have to go out to create these opportunities and then act on the opportunities that are given to you. And I guess the next thing on the list, throughout all of that, do you keep your passion for what it is that you want to achieve? Is your passion for that desired goal, or is your passion for what you're doing still the same? And if you keep that passion, then actually the whole thing becomes fun, easier, you know, even with the difficult hardships, it actually is still a little bit easy because of how much passion you have for it. So for example, singing to me, I always have the same passion for it. So no matter how many difficult things happen to me, I'm still like, yeah, but I love singing. Yeah, but I love performing. If you keep your passion alive, that actually keeps driving you to do all of these things on the list. I've got 2 more points here, and I feel like the last point is like so important, so I'm just gonna leave it obviously to last. But the one before that is quite similar to the unwavered perseverance, because it's like, just don't stop. Like, don't stop until you get to your goal. And this is like such brain work, because it's all about the brain. Like, is the brain bothered? Is the brain thinking it could succeed? Is the brain got enough stamina to carry on? Does the brain have enough passion to carry on? Like, is the brain. If it's something that you're so passionate about, then you should actually have enough fuel to carry on. And maybe we just need to be reminded, don't stop. Don't stop. Carry on doing the work. Carry on doing the opportunities. Carry on coming out of your house. Carry on thinking about it. Carry on discovering new ways to create opportunity and to act on opportunity. Carry on until you get to your end goal. Yeah. And this perseverance, I feel like, would literally make anybody succeed. It goes to show that even with like things like, for example, somebody who might not have a great voice managed to have this like massive success. Because why? Because they were there. They were doing it. They did it. Even when somebody said, oh, well, you've got a rubbish voice, they'd be like, okay, well, you're going to hear me sing for the next 10 minutes, so sit down, love. So you can't stop. You have to carry on going until you reach what you say you want to reach. So the last step, I even put a question mark at the end of it, because I wonder if it's true or not. And I've put here, does it take others supporting you to make you succeed? And actually, I think I could answer that myself, really. So I could take away that question mark a little bit, because it's like the process can only take you, right? So you're the only one that can decide that you have passion for something, decide to get the evidence, decide on your confidence, decide on your end goal, decide to keep persevering. Only you can do that, right? And actually, even if you have like all the people around you saying you shouldn't do that, oh, this is never gonna work, or this is like impossible, if you have the passion for it, you can't help but carry on persevering, regardless of like people putting you down or not. So technically it doesn't take support, but if you carry on and you are persevering and all these people around you are saying like you shouldn't do that, eventually when you come across somebody who does support you, I feel like that fuels you for another, like, let's say 10 years of perseverance. So I do feel like support is important, because eventually I feel like anybody would burn down and shrivel if like so many people keep like putting them down, and then like this one person might come and show you support and you're like, you see evidence, I'm gonna carry on. So I feel like it's yes and no. Like, no, it doesn't take support to succeed, but yes, when you have support, it really does like add fuel to the stamina. And I do wish that there was like much more of that. Like, so for example, I do wish somebody would say to me in this moment, like, Nayna, you have a beautiful voice, and no, people don't hate your voice, instead of what I just heard, like, oh, some people might not like your voice. So now I have to persevere through that negative comment, and hopefully I would hear a nice comment of like, oh, Nayna, you have such a beautiful voice. That would then fuel me for another marathon of perseverance. Anyway, that's been an interesting chat today, because basically, to conclude, I really do feel like it's a game of the brain. How much does your brain believe in something? How much does the brain have stamina to do something? And that will determine your success. And actually, how much brain work are you willing to put in to understand how to succeed at something? Like, for example, how do I succeed at potentially one day being able to have a show where I pack out the venue and people are there to watch me? Like, what does it take to succeed at that? And I have to do the brain work, I have to do the research, get the evidence, get my confidence that I can hold such a space, and then my unwavered perseverance to reach that goal, and to really like create the opportunity to get to that goal and act on opportunities like that will support me getting to that goal. I have to really do the work, and what makes me able to do that work, what supports me to do that work, is the fact that I really want it. Because if I didn't want it, then all of the work is just going to be like, I can't be bothered, no thank you, I'm going to go this direction, because I really, you know, because then the passion's not really there. But because the passion is really there, like I really want it, then that would take me through all of the hard work that needs to happen. I have to say in closing here that like this is just a bit too much. I feel like this world is just a bit too much. Like, it should just be easier than this. Like, it should just be nicer, more enjoyable. And actually, maybe this is enjoyable. But in a world where people wasn't so negative and they wasn't so like, oh, that's never gonna happen, or why do you dream that, or so then you don't need to fight your confidence, and your confidence is natural. But because we live in this world, then maybe all these steps just seem to be a bit more difficult because there's more resistance. And if that resistance was just to go, then it would just be all enjoyable, right? To create opportunity, to act an opportunity, to persevere, to decide that I'm confident, find the evidence, yeah, and then just do that. It will just all be very fun. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video of me talking about success, and I'm excited to potentially be an example of how to succeed. So until next time, I shall see you in my next video, and please be happy, and yes, until next time, bye.